Hello and welcome, inspired community. This is the stage of inspiration, and I am so happy to be here with you today. My name is Caroline, and our today's guest is Wunmsie, and I hope I pronounced your name right. Or yes, and I would love to. Hi, Aaron. I'm so happy that you're here, and I would love to introduce our guest. Just a second. I will make, oh, our guest is already on stage. You are a mindset coach. Yes. And we met through daily study and or study and grow rich, whatever you like to call it. We studied for a little period of time together. I'm so happy that you said yes. And the stage is yours now. Take it
Oh.
away.
Okay, so I was just playing with the background. It's so interesting to be here, really. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me. Anything inspiration, motivation is how the world go around. So thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm so happy to see you. Everything is mindset. That's so true. And yeah, let's talk about your journey. What inspired you to start with working on mindset?
Wow. So interestingly, there's always something that brings somebody to something. We always want something in our life. For us to be an expert in our field, we have to learn. There's something that, let me use the word, for you to say that this is a profession that you want to follow, you have to have interest because you believe that this thing will align with everything that you want. And then what you will start doing is to start learning on how to be master of it. When you become the master of it, you can now start saying that, okay, you're outside, you now want to be charging for it. So for me, how did I get started is all about that is how my journey, just in just a short form to explain it. I didn't like how my life was. I was more or less like dependent on external world for me to make a decision in my life. And then, when people said, oh, financially you're stable, yes, I was stable financially. But there's something called fulfillment because my life was being run by external. I didn't know that until when there's nothing called fulfillment. You just know that you just feel that there's something missing. You're not just happy. And I get to a stage in my life, I just told myself that no, I can't continue living this kind of life. Why can't I? There was a day that I was telling myself, well, why can't I control how I want my life to be? Why can't I say no and I stick to my no? Why am I being run by my body? My emotions and all that. So then I came across that is how powerful our mind is, right? So when we think about something, we get more of it. So one day I was just surfing the web I think it was on YouTube. I came across Dr. Just Dispenza's interview about mind over body or something like that. Then I listened to that interview. I watched it that you could tell your body sits here and it will sit here. I started practicalizing it. Then I went to get his book, Evolve Your Brain. I started reading the book, listening to it. I got the Audible, I got the physical copy of it. I flip it all the time because I love to flip my books because I do a lot of highlights and all that. So I started reading it. I started reading it. Then you're just reading. You need more of that community. So I was on YouTube then also, and now came across Peggy McColl interview on one of Bob Proctor's events. And then I was like, I started, and now what she was saying was so connected. I was so connected with what she was saying. Then I went online, I searched her name, boom, on her website, I signed up for Discovery Call. And then the day that I had a session with one of our members on Discovery Call, that was the day I signed up for the program because I was like, no, this can happen. Yeah, as in, I'm that person. When I make my mind that this is what I want to do, I go for it. So, and then that was the that was my journey. That is how I started this mindset journey, and that it has become like my life now to say.
Wow, I didn't know this, but what I know is our mutual connection, and this is Leanne. And I met Leanne at the Peggy McColl event in 2022 for the first time. It was so amazing, you know. So I didn't know. I just realized she was the one, she brought you into the Napoleon Hill Institute last year, right? And
Yeah, Leanne, yes, she did. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she did. She invited me to the study group last year. Yeah, was it last year or 2 years ago? Yeah, it was last year. So she invited me to the, like, anywhere I found myself among people to study and all that is something that I'm always open to because you can never learn too much, right? So the more you study, the more you get yourself within that kind of people, the more your knowledge will be expanding, your conscious level, the more you get aware of what is going on in your environment, what is going on in your body. It's all about how you feel, right? The book Feeling is a Secret, right? So the environment actually changed everything for me. I love to be among people that understand this new learning that they control their life. So anywhere I see that kind of gathering, because we don't have it around us, right? We grew up knowing the traditional way of knowing things, and then now that you're now well informed, you're more aware. When you see even the little people around you, like you want to be part of it because it's about the law of attraction. You just feel so good about it. So
wow, that's so true. And you mentioned Peggy McCall and Dr. Joe Dispenza and Bob Proctor as well. And Aaron says those study groups are so helpful. So my question to you is, who inspires you and who was the best coach you ever had?
Interestingly, this is a tricky question. It's about how you feel. You might have 20 coaches. There's some of them that just connect, not that they are not good, but their journey, their teaching just align with you. Right. It's not about, oh, this person is not. So we speak to different kind of crowd, right? So everybody should know their crowd. Some the way they talk just align with you. Even hearing their voice, you feel so connected with them. So the reason why I love Peggy, I would say that I prefer her because I have quite a number of them, is because she's living that life. Because I could see the progress in her life. Right. So a method, a teaching is so relatable to me. Everything, from the book that we study in the program, in the book, because I have tons of books. I didn't even tell you when I joined this journey, the first 6 months, I've already acquired about 30 books. Right. Because they're different. I didn't use downstairs for because I have visitor in the house. I will show you my shelf of book, like my diary, my library. So I got tons of book. I like, even this is my daughter's room that I'm in. I didn't even know that I came with a book. Like, I would just always want to hold book. If I'm going out with a friend, I know that we're going for an event, maybe a business meeting. I don't know when I put a book in my bag because it has become my dominant action, right? Because if the environment is not something that I'm really connected with, I'm, I bring out my book, or I have my AirPod on and I just listen to maybe any of the downloaded messages that I have on my phone, or listen to some messages on YouTube. So speaking of the preferred coach, I don't have a preferred, but I just have the one that I'm really connected with. So Peggy McColl happened to be, because when I joined Peggy McColl program in 2021, I finished it up, and then I took a break for like 2022, if I could remember. And then was it 2023? I think I took a break from all past access program in 2023. But 2024, I'm back to her, right? Because I feel more connected with her program, with her journey. There was a time that she was talking about she wants to buy a house in Lakeview, and then she was talking about the $1 million of the house, and then she was telling us that she's going to get it. She was telling us right in the program that she's going to get. So I love people that live the world, like what they preach. And then every one of them are like that. Just that not everybody disclose their personal experience or what is going on in their life, but she is so relatable to me. So I love Peggy McColl to say.
That's so great. Thank you for sharing. Maybe you hear the rain in the background here. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, my next question is, how do you inspire other people?
So there's this book that says The Science of Getting Rich. It said that if you want to be rich, you have to, if you want to help the poor, you have to become rich. Right. So if I want to inspire people, I have to be an inspiration to my own self. Right. So I just have to start embracing me, loving me, and then is something that you graduate. You don't say that I just want to inspire people. I want to inspire my own life. I want to look back and be like, oh my God, you did a great job. So over the time, as people are seeing the way my life is progressing, then I hear that word from people, not me telling them that I want to inspire you. Right. So now I see my friend, they send me some nice messages. Oh my God, Wunmi, you really inspire me. You're such a motivation. Like you motivate me a lot. And then, these are the things that I have never heard in my life until now. For the past how many years? I'm 38, right? For the past 34, 35 years, I've never heard that until just now. So what does that mean? I work on me so that the things around me can change. Right. So I'm not set out to say that I want to inspire people. I want my life to be an inspiration. I want to embrace myself. I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, you did a great job on me. Because if I'm happy, I can radiate it. If I inspire myself, I can inspire others. So people will say, fake it, you make it. I don't fake it. I want to be it. I don't want to fake it. I want to be here, like pretend as if no, I don't want to be, I want to live it. So when I live it, you can see it in my life, like, oh my God, I don't think she's consistent. I am consistent. I have to be consistent with myself. Because if you fake it, you're not going to be consistent because there will be time that there won't be anybody watching you. You want to be yourself. I want to be myself anyway. Right. So, in the response to your question, I need to be an inspiration to myself for me to be able to inspire other people. And then I think the result in my life will speak for itself.
Absolutely. I love your answer because you said it. It was an important sentence. You have to inspire yourself first, and then you can inspire other people. I never thought of it that way. So thank you so much for sharing. And I have another question for you. It is, what are your gifts and talents?
What's wow? Can you say that
Yeah.
again? I didn't hear
What
that.
what are your gifts and talents?
Oh, that's interesting. So, I'm becoming to understand who I am. Like, what are my gifts? I just, my gifts are just to be happy. I love to be happy, and then I love to support people. I just enjoy. It give me joy when I see people around me. They benefit from me being alive. That's just that give me so much joy. So when I do something for friends, family, and they were thanking me, I don't like it. I just feel that this is why I'm here. I'm just enjoying it. No, I'm doing it for myself because it makes me feel so good. So to answer that question correctly, my gift is just to be happy and then to radiate that happiness to the people around me. I enjoyed it that way.
Absolutely. I love what you said, and Aaron shared what you said as well. Your keys: be clear, inspire others by inspiring yourself, study with community that is elevating, and be consistent. Yes, these are our takeaways until now. And of course, I would like to know about your goals. And Peggy McColl and Bob Proctor as well, they are teaching us how to set worthy goals,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So, or do you set intentions? And what is one of your goals for 2024?
Oh, great question. So, I have a magazine company, publishing company. I publish my own magazine. I think it's in the room. Do you want? Okay, you're probably not going to say because of my background. So it's called Be Inspired with Wunmsie Elebute. So Be magazine. My goal is to ensure that it is at the right place at the right time in times of because we want to have the magazine at the cool shape, airlines and all that stuff, lounges. That is my goal. And then I also I'm buying my own house in the US this year in Texas. I'll be spending Christmas there. So that happened to be one of my major goals. And I'm super looking forward to it.
Oh, I love those big goals. There is no big or small, but it sounds like,
Absolutely.
some of the people say, wow, this is big, and they don't dare to even dream it. But if you can dream it, you can do it, of course, because we learn the
Absolutely.
secrets of mindset. And what else can we say? What else can we add to that? My question would be about your services and products. Do you have special offers for our audience today?
Oh yeah, so I didn't even know that you're going to ask me. It's just my magazine. People should subscribe, and then buy the magazine. We have the digital and the print version of the magazine. It's called B-Way. They can be found on B-Way Network. Let me just type it here. B-Way Network.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yes, yeah, that's there they can see the either they order for the print version or the digital copy, and then the magazine is loaded with an inspiration
Mhm.
stories. Yeah, that is what I do. I used to take one-on-one coaching, but have stopped because of the timing.
Yeah.
I don't have time. Like I have a lot of things on my plate right now that won't allow me to give one-on-one coaching to people. So what I usually do is to send them to maybe my friends that's also within
Mhm.
that mindset coaching. So that's it.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think if you have messages now for the audience, and then we can open up for questions, maybe. How about
Oh
that?
yeah, I think for me is just letting people know that they should be the source of inspirations. Stop looking for something that will inspire you because you feel good, because you will always going to be looking for. I tell people, some people that are advising you to do this, they're actually trying to figure their life out, right? Trust your intuition, trust yourself, believe in yourself. Kalama, the vice president nominee for Democrats, she said something. Do you think you just fall out of the tree? So we didn't just fall out of the tree, right? We're here for a reason. We're not a mistake. And then one thing that I know that the universe that created us never make a mistake. He created us for a reason. And that everybody's responsibility is to find out why you're here, and that
Mhm.
the answer always lies within us. Until you found out that, you'll just be working your ass off all the time.
Yeah.
So, to the extent that it's going to navigate you to what you're supposed to do, like your true purpose. People will say, "Oh, money will give you happiness." Okay, I agree with that. But finding your purpose, finding why you're here, you will be more happier. You know, Nobody, you can't be chasing every business transaction. You won't want to be everywhere. You just want to do something because they align with yourself and your value. Sometimes when you're doing something, I tell myself, how do I feel about it? Your feelings are your indicators, right? They are your indicators. If what you're doing is right, you will feel the way you're going to feel about it. And then also, another thing is that we should give ourselves time, because remember that this mindset journey is a continuous thing. It's not something that you stop, and that you're building something over a period of time, and they're going to be your dominant feeling. So you have to give yourself try. You have to give yourself some try and trust yourself. Trust
Mm.
yourself that you don't make mistake. You care for you, and that you're going to make the best out of why you're here. I tell myself I'm going to make the best. I am making the best out of why I'm here. I'm here for a reason, and I'm enjoying, you get to stay, kiss yourself, trust yourself, because you only got yourself.
Oh, that's a great message. Thank you so much. And now we have time for questions from the audience. How about that?
Mm, I'm here for it. I'm all here for it.
Aaron, you want to say something?
Great takeaways. I mean, that was just very amazing. Like I said, I wrote in the chat about being clear. By inspiring others, we have to inspire ourselves and be consistent in doing that. I love that takeaway because we need to uplift each other. The more that we pour into ourselves, the more that we can pour out to others. What is one routine that you think have benefited you in the long run when it comes to like mental health and mindset?
Good question. So, when I started my journey, the one of the things that I wanted to work on is my routine. What are the things that I need to do to be able to reprogram myself to become my dominant action? So, one of the things that when I started reading at that time, when I started, is talking to myself and then scripting. I like to write a lot. I write morning, afternoon, and evening. I do self-image. I'm sure quite you probably might have heard about that. I speak to myself. I tell myself how amazing I am, and I like to write a lot. I write um, how I want my day to be, or if I have those sit-I goal that you talked about. I write it that I'm so happy, I'm grateful now that. So sometimes I don't feel it when I'm writing it, but I now let it become something that I have to do, just like you have to do, just the way when you're going out, you have to wear your shoe, right? So it now becomes something, if I don't do it within a day, I feel that there's something wrong with it, me. Right. So that is my routine. And then I recorded, Power Life scripts, record how you want your life to be in every area of my life. So I have it on my phone when I'm doing maybe cleaning the house or doing anything. I just put my headphone here, I just listen to it. Sometimes I'm not actively listening, but guess what? All those things are impressing to your subconscious mind. Right, so it kept on impressing, and then that is it for me. You don't feel it all the time, just I just ensure that it become my routine. So that is my routine. If I don't write, I would listen. If I don't listen, I will do my affirmations. So, and then one thing that I ensure that I do, at least I read a bit a day. I must. I must, if it's going to be one page, I must read a day. I do that all the time. So that's one thing that you will always meet me where I because I love to flip. So some people do audible, but I feel that when I read, when I'm doing audible, I might be idle. I might not be 100% in active mode, right? So I rather flip. And then when you're reading, you put all your attention to it. So I read, I highlight so that I can go back to the nugget. So I do that mostly before I go to bed or in the afternoon after I finish my morning activities. And then I could just do that. And I also have a book club that I join. If I don't log in, I just do that. But those are my daily routine.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Do you have book recommendations for us? Well, because you said you study one page at least per day.
Oh yeah, so depending on the every stage that you are in life, I feel that Feeling is a Secret is one of the best book in terms of your subconscious. You just have to, the book is so small,
Mm,
but it is so good. And then this thing called You by Hennes
mm,
Holmes. They don't have the audible, it's
mm.
just the physical book. It's one of the books that changed my life and they held in my journey. So those books are great. So I'm just reading. I've given you to write. I'm just reading Acts and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks.
Mm.
This is another amazing, great book. Let me stop the background if I can. Let me see something. Virtual background. Let me remove it. Oh, 1 second, please, so that you can see the book, the copy of
Mm.
very well. Uh,
You see the video settings, and then there is a
yes, I've
little.
done it. So you say this access should be given by Hiram Hicks. So, it is a fantastic book. Let me see if I can mirror my back. How good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So access shall be given. You see, it's
Yeah.
amazing book. Yeah, so this is a fantastic one. I've just started reading it, and I've highlighted so many the book because they kind of have different processes on any stage you're in life or you're
Mhm.
feeling. It's a fantastic book. When you read one, or especially, it's so interesting now that you get the same recommendation. If you go on YouTube, just
Mhm.
type "Access shall be given" by Abraham Hicks. You see the likes, it kind of align you. You just be going further, further, further. Before you
Mhm.
know it, you read it on your house, a big, huge library.
Wow. Thank you so much. We have time for another question. Who wants to ask? Who has a question? We have Cherry Ann. I see you. Aaron, you have another question? No questions for.
When
Mhm.
we talk about inspiring ourselves and building momentum, what's an advice that you would tell somebody being consistent in building their self-confidence?
hmm Oh, sorry. What was the question? I mixed that.
So what would your advice for somebody that's trying to be consistent with building their self-confidence?
So it depends on how you're building your self-confidence, right? So, for me, it's that's why the scripting aspect or listening to yourself become right. So one thing I notice is that when I listen to who I say that I want to become, listen to it continuously, and then I realize that my actions, it helped me with the kind of action I was supposed to take. So I feel that by the time, it depends on how you write your scripts, right? If you're saying that you want to build your self-confidence, are you saying that, oh, I want to build my self-confidence or I'm confident? So how does confident people behave? And ensure that you focus more on how you feel about it. So I got this book by, I'm sure what you think of me is none of my business. You understand? I think for anybody that wants to build their confidence, that's a fantastic, amazing book because you start thinking about how you have to start focusing on yourself. Because I feel that sometimes you say that you want to build your self confidence, you're actually building it without realizing it. Right. So when you started not giving a damn about what people are saying, their opinion, you come out to show yourself. I remember because I my first time in Harvard when I was doing my master's. 1 second, let me just 1 second. So my first time when I wanted to like when I went for my master's, the first day in school in class. So before I left the house, I will have this, oh my God, how would they say? Am I good enough and all that stuff? And then the first time I entered the class, there's this fear, oh my, okay, come and show yourself how good you are, that kind of thing. So later, maybe about few classes later, me and my classmates, we get together, we started talking, and then I was like, how was your first day? They felt the same way I was feeling. They felt the same way. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody was in the same boat, right? So we feel that we're not doing enough. That is where the word you have to trust yourself. If you tell yourself that I want to be confident, just know that you are confident. Just know that. It's not a conversation to know that am I confident? Just know that I'm confident. I always get it done. When I'm in among people, I speak well, eloquently, I'm so concise. Everything that you feel that a confident person is supposed to be, just say that you are doing it. Just believe that you are doing it and then listen to your voice when you say all these affirmations and then listen to it, play it all the time. You realize that you're actually living living it without you realizing it, because we don't give ourselves some credit. You're working so hard to ensure that you are that person you want to be. Just believe in yourself. Know that you are important. You're doing everything you could, and that you're getting better every day. You're getting better every day. Everything that I am doing is aligned with the person that I am becoming. That is where the self-image comes in. My self-image is in my bedroom. I'll like show you how big it is. I wrote this amazing word. I'm intelligent, I'm knowledgeable, I'm smart, I am wealthy, I'm rich, I'm a proud mother. So I did the self-image like 3 years ago. And then when I started looking at it now, all those words, I realized that I'm actually living those words now. Because I'm amazing. I just say it, and I just, when that's where people will be like, oh my gosh, she's so full of herself, he's so full of herself, because you believe in yourself. I'm myself. Because it's something that you started saying. Sometimes when people ask me a question, how are you? I'm awesome, I'm amazing. I say it. People say, I know that that's what you're going to say. Am I going to say that, oh, life is hard and all that stuff? Who wants to hang out with people that feel that life is hard? So you start saying it, that is how you build it. You start living it, you can't claiming it, and then live it, keep on living it. You're not faking it, you're feeling it. Your feeling is an indication. Abraham always say, it's how you feel about it. Your feeling is an indicator to know that if you're aligned or you're not aligned. I hope that answers your question.
That was a great
Thank
question,
you.
Aaron,
Great answer.
and a
Thank
great
you.
answer. I wrote it down. Everything I do is aligned with the person I am becoming. So powerful, and you told us feeling is the secret, the book by Neville Goddard, and you live it. You say the moment you become aware of being like am I confident? You can ask the question, am I confident? And in that moment you are confident. You realize you are
Exactly.
confident. Wow.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah,
great.
it's not even a question to ask yourself, I'm confident. Just tell yourself, I am confident. Get on telling your subconscious mind, this is what I want. Remember that it's your conscious mind that is doing the work first. Is what you consciously say to yourself that you're observing to your subconscious mind. When you keep on saying it, you start feeling it. They tell you or you feel it as if, and then your subconscious mind it's the one that get the job done. You consciously say that you want this, and then you're saying it, I want this, and want this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And then your subconscious mind absorb it, and they become your dominant feeling. Like if something happened to you, maybe imagine, so what was your first line of action? Your first line of action is what is on your subconscious mind. When you say that, oh, you use an F word, it's not that you pick it just now. You just say it unconsciously. That is on your. That's what is in your subconscious mind. That's why they tell you that you can't give what you don't have. It's what you store. That is what you will call out. That is will be your first action. Emergency happens to be, oh Jesus Christ. That is what they know. They don't say what they don't know. They'll be like, where did that word come from? No, it comes from your subconscious because you store it there. Nobody bring it and give it to you. So it's about being intentional and then keep on saying all those words to yourself. Guess what? It will absorb. Remember that everything that we learn it as a child. We didn't bring anything from heaven, like, oh my God, it was God that made me this way. Everything you become, you learn it from this world. And if you don't like the results, and we all have a choice. We all have a choice. And our choice is to choose the right thoughts, what we're thinking about all the time. I was listening to, oh, what book was I listening to this morning about your what you become what you think about all the time. Yeah, I think I can't remember who the author was. So it kept on saying that you become what you think about. What you're thinking about now is what you're going to become. If you're thinking about how life is miserable, you'll be getting more like how miserable life is. You'll be getting more of that. And if you don't want that, yes, thank you. If you don't want that, and then you keep on changing the story. We all have a choice to change the story, to change how we feel. And then we're going to get the results. And if you don't get the desired results, you know that is the input.
So you both
Oh,
were
yeah.
listening to Nightingale today. We
Yes.
become what we think about most of the time. What is most of the time? 51%. I mentioned it already earlier, right? Most of the time. So it doesn't have to be 100%.
It doesn't have to be one of the goal is for it to be 100%. Let your dominant. What is impressed is the positivity. So let the negativity is the one that come once in a while, which you know that you have the awareness to quickly push it out. Remember, it was a flip for me before. Most of my life is dominated about negativity. I started changing my story. So positivity now dominates more than negativity. So the goal is to get to 99.9%. Whereby when the negativity come in, you know, so your body now have more reaction, more of the positivity to let it out, right? So now, you know, then when positive come because of your body, so your life is so full of negativity. So the way we react to the positivity, we just feel that's too good to be true, all those kind of things. But when your life is full of positivity, when those things come up, you something that you're expecting, you know, you get to a stage, everything that I expect in my life is positive. Now, if something wrong comes up, you'll be like, oh, me, I now look at it that, oh, probably there's something for me to learn in this because now this is not how it's supposed to be. You know, I'm looking for some of my item back in my house in Africa. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't find this, I can't find that. And I did quite a like very expensive stuff. And then yesterday I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't lose anything because I don't take what belongs to others. I'm sure that those things will come back because there's nothing for me to learn from people stealing my things, right? I just said that no, those things will come back. I expect it and I'm going to get every of my things. But I told myself is I don't take what belongs to others. Nobody take what belongs to me. It wasn't like that some years back. Right. I don't treat the government, I don't play smart on people. So because it's a lot, it's all about the law of cause and effect. Whatever we push out, we're going to get it back, right? So what am I pushing out? Right. So what am I pushing out? We don't want to know that we want to take, but we don't know that our actions, what we push out to others is what we're getting back. When they tell you to forgive people, it's not for the sake of that person, it's for your own sake. It's for yourself. It's not for the person. It's for you. Because whatever you push out, you're going to get back. The universe will deal with that person. Yeah, the person wronged you. You do this. It is none of your work. It is not your job. Just the way you ask shall be given. It's not none of your work to know how it's going to get done. Your role is to ask. When somebody hurts you, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. For me, I just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for you because you don't know the light. If you know the light, you know that you don't hurt other people. When you hurt other people, you're hurting yourself.
Wow. What an amazing message today. And I love what you said about calling the goals or what you want to you. That reminds me of the demand principle, one of the books by Peggy McColl, right? I love
Yes.
like commanding, like in a restaurant or so, you just place your order and relax and detach from the outcome because you know it's coming, right?
Absolutely.
Do we have
Absolutely.
another question? Another question, or then this is our interview. I can stop the recording. And thank you for our stage of inspiration event.